Modern Hebrew is a new language. Hebrew had not been spoken as an everyday language for centuries. By the late 19th century, it survived only in prayers, religious texts, and scholarly writings, while the language of daily life among Jews was Yiddish, Ladino, or Arabic. There was no way to know how ancient Judeans actually spoke Hebrew. The pronunciation, the rhythm, the vocabulary of everyday conversation were all lost to history. Yet Zionist revivalists undertook the remarkable task of bringing Hebrew back by creating it anew. Rebuilding from fragments, Eliezer Ben-Yehuda and his contemporaries began with the scraps of written Hebrew, biblical texts, Mishnaic writings, and medieval manuscripts. But texts do not speak. Every sound, every accent, every colloquial nuance of the language had vanished. The result was a reconstruction. Pronunciation influenced heavily by Yiddish and European languages. Grammar partially adapted from ancient sources, partially invented. Thousands of new words for modern life. Trains, newspapers, electricity, and political concepts. The Hebrew that emerged was modern in function but artificial in origin. A new language built on old symbols. Raising the first speakers. Ben-Yehuda did not stop at reconstruction. He spoke Hebrew exclusively at home, raising his son, Itamar ben-Avi, as the first native speaker of modern Hebrew. This proved that a reconstructed language could become living and spoken, but even these first speakers were learning an engineered language, not a continuation of any ancient spoken Hebrew. Schools and immersion. The revival expanded through education. Schools taught all subjects, math, history, science, exclusively in Hebrew. Immersion classrooms enforced Hebrew-only rules, ensuring that children became fluent speakers and could transmit the language naturally to siblings and friends. Through this method, a constructed language became a social reality. Children spoke it every day, not just read it. Media, literature, and social pressure. Hebrew newspapers, textbooks, and literature standardized grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. Radio broadcasts, theater performances, and public events further amplified the language. Speaking Hebrew became a marker of Zionist identity, encouraging adults to adopt the language alongside younger generations. Yet throughout this process, no one could claim that modern Hebrew sounded or functioned like the Hebrew of ancient Judea. Its authenticity was symbolic, not historical. Mass adoption and official status. By the 1920s and 1930s, Hebrew was the primary spoken language among Jewish communities in Palestine. With the founding of the State of Israel in 1948, it became an official language, solidifying its role as the mother tongue of millions. Modern Hebrew is now a fully functional native language capable of expressing everything from poetry to scientific discourse. But it is also a language invented, reconstructed, and taught, not resurrected in any direct sense from antiquity. The irony. The most remarkable fact about modern Hebrew is this: it works. Millions speak it fluently. Children grow up learning it as their first language. Yet, despite all its historical roots, it is a new language. Its sounds, its rhythms, its vocabulary, the essence of how people spoke 2,000 years ago, are lost forever. The revival of Hebrew demonstrates that a language can be engineered, transmitted, and adopted on a massive scale, creating a living linguistic tradition from a combination of old symbols, creative invention, and social enforcement. Modern Hebrew is a triumph, but it is a triumph detached from the actual voice of the ancient world.